The Monkey, the brand new horror comedy based on the 1980 Stephen King short story of the same name. In this video we will be diving straight into its deeper themes and symbolism. There will be spoilers. Let us begin. The film depicts 3 generations of men terrorised by a toy monkey. There's P.T. Shelburne, his son Hal, the central character, and Hal's son, who is also called P.T. So it's about a horror latching itself onto a family and following them down through the generations. As Hal says in his voiceover at the end of the prologue, "I don't know if every father passes on some secret horror to his kids, but mine sure did." The monkey itself is a rather unusual beast. On the one hand, it's a clockwork toy, apparently limited by its mechanism. On the other hand, it can teleport and influence its environment to bring about grisly supernatural deaths. This strange duality is expressed in Stephen King's story. Hal turned the key and in the silence he heard a perfect tiny series of winding up clicks. When he let the key go, the monkey began to clap its cymbals together and he could feel its body jerking. Bend and jerk, as if it were alive. It was alive, and the vibration he felt through its balding brown fur was not that of turning cogs, but the beating of its heart. At one point in the movie, the young Hal slices the monkey's limbs off with a knife in an attempt to destroy it. He is shocked as blood emerges from its dark interior. And this blurring of the mechanical and the organic is central to the film, because it expresses a wider existential question. Is death simply a fact of life, just the inevitable consequence of molecules clacking together, a grinding of the gears? Or is there something more sinister going on? Is death somehow bound up with evil? The clockwork monkey of death in this story gets me thinking about the clockwork universe theory, popularised during the Enlightenment. As the notable French scholar Pierre-Simon Laplace said, "We may regard the present state of the universe as the effect of its past and the cause of its future. An intellect which at a certain moment would know all forces that set nature in motion and all positions of all items of which nature is composed. If this intellect were also vast enough to submit these data to analysis, it would embrace in a single formula the movements of the greatest bodies of the universe and those of the tiniest atom. For such an intellect, nothing would be uncertain, and the future, just like the past, could be present before its eyes." Now, this is the deterministic view that the universe is essentially just a very big, complex clock which has been set in motion. From one moment to another, it is grinding along according to its laws, and nothing could be any other way. There is no free will, and there is no intervention from beyond. Now, some people find this notion strangely comforting. It means that in theory, the universe is entirely predictable, but as the monkey demonstrates, it becomes a lot less comforting the moment you start thinking about death. Within the clockwork universe, death is just an inevitable consequence of the mechanism. One day, somehow, each and every one of us will get ground in its gears, ground in the gears of the clock of the universe. As Hal's mum says in the film, everything is an accident or nothing is an accident. It's not if or how, only when everyone dies. And she makes a valid point. The fact that I will die one day is as inevitable, if not more so, than the ticking of a clock that has been wound up and set in motion. I am hurtling unstoppably towards my death. But is that the full story? Hal and his brother Bill are awakened to the possibility that more is going on when they encounter the monkey. It might be clockwork, but Hal and Bill come to see that it is not merely clockwork. Very quickly they start to reach for words like evil and the devil, concepts that are hard to account for if the entire universe is clockwork. Maybe there is actually a supernatural realm, a battle of good and evil, and humans are at the centre. In any case, the monkey is this foreign artifact from beyond which enters the lives of those characters as a chaotic influence. This is reflected by the turning of the key to make it go, echoing the cyclical, overturning forces of nature. Also, the song it plays just before it strikes, an instrumental version of "I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside." In ancient cosmology, the ocean represents chaos with its cyclical, destructive waves crashing along the coastline, And by playing this song, the monkey is effectively saying, "Let there be chaos." And so with its withering, ironically detached dark comedy, this film explores the nature of death. We are shown the inevitability of death. As we've said, it comes for all of us. We're shown that death is passed down through the generations. We're shown a connection between death and evil. Death is not merely an inconvenience, something feels wrong about it, wrong with a capital W. We're shown attempts to contain death, attempts to destroy or bury the monkey, but none of them work. And we're shown human culpability in death. Each time the monkey strikes, a human is responsible for winding it. And surely, no one's going to do that on purpose. Well, the big twist of the movie is that Hal's brother, Bill, has formed an alliance with the monkey and is trying to use it to kill Hal. Can you hear that music? No. Maybe I'm living in a horror movie. Oh, I forgot. I'm still wearing one of my earbuds from Raycon, the sponsor for this video. And if I put the other one in, the sound quality is phenomenal. And the active noise cancellation? I can barely hear myself speaking right now. They're super convenient for when I go jogging because they're dustproof and water resistant. They charge extremely fast. 10 minutes equals 1.5 hours of battery. For mine, I have this beautiful protective case. I went for the concrete one, also from Raycon, and it looks like a little pebble or something. That kind of ancient and modern feel, that's something I often go for on this channel. And what's more, these earbuds are affordable. Go to buyraycon.com/Thorogood to get up to 20% off site-wide. That's right, you'll get up to 20% off everything on Raycon's website, including 20% off all headphones during this special deal when you go to buyraycon.com/Thorogood. Back to the video. The film uses a classic theme. Two brothers, identical twin brothers in fact, locked in conflict. Growing up, Bill bullies Hal. And occasionally, Hal fantasizes about killing Bill using a bowling ball. Well, be careful what you wish for, Hal, because that's exactly how Bill dies at the end of the movie. A bowling ball takes off his head. So during their childhood, Hal is the one who wants to kill Bill. At one point, he even winds the monkey, hoping that it will do so. Instead, at that point, it kills their mother. During their adulthood, it switches. Now, Bill is the one who wants to kill Hal, to avenge the death of his mother. For some reason, he forgets that she was also Hal's mother. So the tone of the film is one of macabre absurdism. We get some indication that the monkey is a conscious being at the end of the film. Bill gets so frustrated at its apparent refusal to kill Hal that instead of winding its key as normal, he tries to force it to drum, and the monkey doesn't seem to like that. While staring at Bill, it proceeds to mash the drum with its sticks, resulting in apocalyptic carnage outside. Each beat of the drum corresponds presumably to the death of a human being, and as with the rest of the movie, all of them die in horrific and bizarre ways. This culminates with the final showdown between Hal and Bill, the first proper conversation they've had in 9 years. There is eventually reconciliation, but the monkey gets the last laugh. Its drumstick makes one final beat, triggering Bill's death through the aforementioned bowling ball. It seems that only one of the twins gets out of this alive. We then see Hal and Petey departing. They drive through the apocalyptic carnage outside. The experience had brought them closer together. And instead of trying once more to destroy the monkey, Hal says the following: "We keep it close. We accept that it's ours, and we hold on tight." There's something heroic about that. The monkey has latched itself onto Hal's family, and rather than trying to pass the problem onto someone else, he has now chosen to accept it and to take responsibility for it. This is a metaphor for coming to terms with the reality of death in the world. Death happens, we can deny it, we can postpone it to some degree, we can try to contain it, we can try to control it, but what we can't do by ourselves is defeat death. Writer-director Osgood Perkins referenced the beast of the sea from Revelation 13 in his previous film, Longlegs. And in The Monkey, he references a different part of Revelation, the fourth horseman in Revelation 6, a personification of death. When the Lamb opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature say, "Come." I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was named Death, and Hades was following close behind him. They were given power over a fourth of the earth, to kill by sword, famine, and plague, and by the wild beasts of the earth. Indeed, the dialogue quotes this scripture throughout the movie, but at the end, Howl and Petey seem to see the horseman for real riding past their car. Howl and the horseman exchange nods, suggesting further that Howl has come to accept the presence of death. There's another interesting connection to the Book of Revelation. In the movie, the key to the monkey allows you to control death to some degree. As we've seen, there's not much precision in that control. The monkey will target whoever it wants, and we're not told what's governing its decision for who it kills each time, but the monkey does strike when the key is turned, and the keeper of the key is apparently immune to death, or at least death at the hands of the monkey, for as long as they are the keeper of the key. So in the movie there is a sort of a key which can unlock death to some degree. And looking back to Revelation, the Lamb who opens the seals in that Revelation 6 passage is Jesus, and in Revelation 1 we read him say this, "I am the living one, I was dead, and now look, I am alive forever and ever, and I hold the keys of death and Hades." According to the Christian worldview, Christ holds the keys of death and Hades. Death is a curse which has been unleashed on the world, but the claim is that Christ has conquered it through his own death on the cross. Now, the monkey doesn't have such a hopeful vision. Being the keeper of the monkey's key doesn't count for much in the grand scheme of things. But in grappling with these themes, even in its tongue-in-cheek way, the film has plenty to discuss. My name is Thomas Thorogood. I get into the deeper meaning of movies. Thanks so much for watching. Do subscribe if you'd like to stay in the loop. And remember, it's deeper than you think.